Okay, I'm starting the live stream a little bit early just in case I forgot something. I just spent like an hour on the computer before this looking for music or something for the background, and then I felt that I've got to watch out for the copyright stuff. Mike, good to see you. Always the first one, or so far, the first one each time. Cool. Yeah, I started a little early because I thought I might forget something. Anyway, we'll wait. We can wait for everyone to show up. I got a like a dry erase marker board just in case I need to explain something with a picture. I don't have anything prepared. Uh, I didn't write any notes or anything. I live here behind your shed. Yeah. Hello from Indiana, Edward. Here 3 minutes earlier. Yeah, cool, David. Yeah, we'll just wait for everybody. Uh, I did announce it a couple times, so yeah. Let's just hold on. I've got the speaker set up. Okay, I just got a brand new speaker today, so if my phone makes funny noises, it comes out on the speaker. Uh, sorry about that, but I got bell sounds. Yeah, I found some copyright-free bell sounds. So the bells are going to call everybody in, okay? Jerry Long, hello. Nighthawk, hello. AJ Williams, Jerry Long, Brandon, Jim Main, hello from Southeast Missouri. Yeah, so this is just going to be question and answer like last time. I don't have any notes written. Yeah, I got the bell sounds from a copyright-free YouTube channel. So if I want to have those, I can just push the button. Let's see. Ahab the Fisherman, hello again from you were here last time too. Ed Gould, James Kilpatrick, the Flint guy. Nice music. Yeah, I was looking for music to play in the background, and then I forgot that I've got to demonetize and give credit to the artists. So I spent like an hour for nothing. But the bells are copyright free from that one channel. I do have the channel name in the description box. I have my own neighborhood church bells going right now, but you can't hear. At 8 o'clock, it sounds the last bells, and they do a long series of chimes. Yeah, there's copyright-free music on YouTube, but you've gotta make sure you copy their credits perfectly, or you'll get a copyright strike. You still have to refer back to the origin with the full license and all that, link to the license and all the credits properly displayed, or you get a copyright strike, even if it's copyright free. Yeah. I got my microphone pinned instead of holding it like this, but when I hold the microphone in my hand, I can control the volume a little bit better. But yeah, I might need to use both hands for answering some questions. Yeah, I got a dry erase board in case anybody asks questions that need an illustration or spelling or something. Yeah, so good evening, everybody. Yes, good evening, Robbie. How has the mugwort been? The mugwort is okay. It tastes really good. I mean, it tastes like the holidays. It has that kind of a Christmassy taste to it. But as far as the reaction to it, I have a slight allergic reaction to the mugwort. So I stopped puffing on it. But it's nice stuff. I mean, I can burn it as an incense too. I don't usually burn incense in here, but I can do that. Listening, but eating pizza. Wife brought me home. Yeah, brought me home some bacon Alfredo. Okay. And if I cough when I got the microphone pinned, it's still loud. So let me unpin it because it's driving me nuts. I can do this and put the microphone far away from me when I cough. Tonight's soup is tomato. Yes, yes. Yeah, the old sailors used to use the mugwort for smoking and as a substitute for tobacco. Yeah, it's good stuff if you're not sensitive to it. I mixed it with mint, right? That was pretty good. Uh, and, and I forget what else. Blades and points. Hey, Sal, Adam McMillan, James Kilpatrick. We have 23 people. That's more than last time. Radio announcers have a mic cutout button. It's called a cough drop. I don't like cough drops anymore because they have sugar. I don't eat sugar anymore. I try not to. I just bought some some coffee chocolates. It says it's 99% coffee, but the uh, the reason why I bought it is because it only has like 5 grams of sugar, and for one of those little chocolates. So I said, "All righty." I had one earlier, and sure enough, it's just like coffee. But no, what I'm doing is I'm clearing my throat because if when I start talking, I've got to clear my throat to get in the groove because I don't talk at all during the day to anybody or anything. I don't. I can go the whole day without saying anything to anybody. I just don't. I just text and stuff. I brought snacks tonight. Mike brought snacks, biscuit crackers, cheese whiz. Oh, someone brought cheese whiz. Uh, I got sick on cheese whiz when I was a kid, so I don't like it. I didn't like it for uh, forever after that. Mullein leaf oil for cleaning the lungs. I tried mugwort. I tried smoking it into my lungs. Usually I just puff on it, but I smoked it into my lungs, and the mugwort did cause some irritation enough to cause a lot of phlegm. But I don't like that feeling. So I just was puffing on it. Mugwort, to me, not mugwort, mullein tastes a little bit like perfume or soap. The perfume they put in, regular soap, I suppose. Laundry soap. That's what it tastes like to me. Yeah, I can go all day without talking to myself too. Yeah, I have an uh, internal dialogue. That's what they call it, right? I do have an internal dialogue. I don't have to speak. Do you like Mac Tussinger's work? I haven't seen it. I mean, I might have seen it, but I don't recognize the name. I got so sick of donuts from eating on every trip on the way to church. Hmm. I never got sick of eating donuts. I miss donuts. And I ate a lot of donuts. Oh, yes. I used to work at a donut shop too. Yeah, I used to work at a donut shop. Didn't never get tired of donuts. No way. Cheese nabs. Um, mm. I bought some shepherd cheese because they have like hundreds of cheeses here in Vermont, right? And Shepherd cheese, I got to tell you, it's probably the best probiotic that I've ever taken. I didn't buy it for that. I just bought it because it was a specialty cheese that was local. It was just the farm that produces it is not far from here. And I said, I'd never tried shepherd cheese because it's a sheep's milk cheese. And yeah, it's a probiotic, a really good one, a little bit too good. Yeah, I'm kidding, but it does help to keep you regular. But it keeps you too regular, so I didn't keep buying it. Oh, you puke it back up every time you try a donut? When is someone going to ask me a Flint napping question? The whole night, yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, if any trolls show up, I'm going to delete, so I can learn how to delete the trolls. But I won't always do that on the live streams. So if one shows up, I'll delete it, or I'll give them a warning first. I'm going to say I'm going to see it because I'm not sure how to delete people from here. Let's see. Do I just? Okay, there's 3 little dots to the right of your name. I can do a remove. Okay. All right, so that's easy enough. We'll see how it goes. Have you ever napped eccentric points? Yes, I have. Do you use any glue when making bowstrings like gelatine? No, the only glue that I used is Elmer's glue. So I said no, right? But yes, I have one time used Elmer's glue on sinew bowstrings. But for this new project coming up for my friend Martin, I'm going to use some waterproof Type Bond 3 because sometimes he goes into areas that have high moisture because he lives in the South. And I think he goes into Mexico and interior Mexico and into South America, Central America and stuff like that. So I'm going to try. I'm going to make him 2 strings. We'll see how it goes. One without glue and one with glue. Shameless plug. Who did a shameless plug? Now, you can use hide glue like Knox gelatin when you make bowstrings. For me, it makes the string sticky. I did try it on serving when I served the string to keep it in place. The extra wrap in the knock area, now that I remember, but it's sticky. I guess I got sweaty hands or something. It gets too sticky for me. I don't use glue on the sinew bowstrings. The Elmer's glue doesn't get sticky though. It's just sticky once when you apply it, and after that, if it gets wet and stuff, it does dissolve, but it's not as sticky the second time you re-wet it. I make a triple ply reverse wrap twist for my bowstrings of sinew. Triple ply that's a good talent to have. I do double ply, much easier. Not a question, but something napping related at least. I'm a rank beginner, and most of my practice material is clear glass. I know it's not the best, but what I do to help is swipe the edge with a broad tip Sharpie every time I braid. It helps a lot with seeing the edge. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, good idea. I got to learn to look at you guys through the camera lens. I'm over here just looking back and forth and not at you guys. Type Bond 3 wood glue is what I use when I'm cutting boards, and also that little spatula I sent you when I make cutting boards. Okay, I see. Yeah. Cutting boards. I thought PVA glue, well, I don't think it's toxic, right? I think maybe the waterproof PVA glue can have toxins, but you're not going to be using a whole lot on the cutting board. I mean, it's not exposed a lot on the cutting board. Alan Cole, hello. I learned with glass, I would dig old Clorox bottles and dump piles out here in Arizona. This is Jesse. That's a little more brittle, but same principle. Yeah. Clorox bottle bottoms are pretty good. I don't like clear glass because a lot of times it's tempered and you get weird flaking characteristics on some of the clear glass. So I have to be very picky about what clear glass I use. And very, very careful on the cleanup. Have you done any more designs making that? I can't read that. No star. I don't know. I can't figure that one out. Ninja Star. No, the only design that I've thought about making is to make the body of the star out of wood and just put points of stone on each tip of the star, of the wooden star. That's the only way it makes sense to me, because otherwise I got to start with a big old 6-inch diameter piece of stone. I got to nap it down to a 6-inch diameter disc. It's hard enough for me to find large pieces, but to nap a disc and then nap in the points after that, I didn't want to. I don't want to do that. So I thought of the idea of just making the body out of wood and mounting points on the tips of a wooden star. There's an old dome from the 30s and 40s in the river where I live, and it has some of the best glass. Yeah. Well, the older glass seems to be better. It's not as tempered as the new stuff. There's been lots of advances in glass tempering, and they can temper and make glass in different flexibilities and hardnesses for different applications. You guys are talking to each other in the chat. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the like button. Like Alan says, don't forget to hit the like button. All right? Yeah. People don't forget. They just don't want to. They're saying, I can hear them in the background. I don't forget. I just don't want to hit the like button because someone might track me that I like this stuff. Yeah. They're afraid of being tracked, I suppose. Because you can see when you like something, you can see it in your history. And then the advertisers go, he likes that one. And then they'll bug you. How do you get a purpose-made hole in a piece like one of those eccentric Mayan pieces? You have to either drill it, you can abrade it and drill a hole that way. It takes forever. Or you can punch one out. Now, you can punch one out fairly easily with copper, but how the Mayas punched that out, I have no idea. They may have used copper. I haven't tried it, but they say that it's easier to punch out a hole when the workpiece is underwater. You can punch out a hole easier that way. It won't break the whole piece. Type 1-3 passes the ANSI water resistance FDA approved for indirect food contact. Okay, good to know. All right. Does it say that on the back of the Type bond? Because if it does, you might want to take that with a grain of salt. Because it's on the product itself. The product usually does not say bad things about itself. Glass lights, the light fixtures, leaded glass and light fixtures. Yeah, it's just the dust from leaded glass is hazardous. Any way to post subscriber successes? My point quality has improved drastically. The only thing I can tell you is just make a video of your successes. You don't have to nap on video. You just film all your points. Just do a little demonstration, little show and tell. If you have an account, right? Unless you don't have an account. page of subscriber points. Okay. Any way to post subscriber successes? My point quality has improved drastically after your teachings. Would be cool to show a page of subscriber points. I'm sure others feel the same way. You mean for me to receive subscriber points and then film them and then send them back or something like that? I mean, I can do that. It would just take a while though. Been watching Will Lord Prehistoric Knapping. I see. Yeah. I probably just used the like button wrong. You're not using the like button correctly? You got to try an experimental video trying out the hole punch technique. Yeah. I've been told how to do it many times, and I haven't done it yet. I'll probably have withdrawals when you take a break from Obsidian. Yeah. I'm going to take a break. It's going to be a solid break from Obsidian when I get back into other materials. Yeah. So that you will definitely have withdrawal symptoms if you're into Obsidian. Because it makes it easier for me to store my equipment and the materials. Yeah. Especially the materials. I'm moving all my rocks. I got to move them because it just starts to stack up, and I can't have all my rocks around me because I get buried, so to speak. Have you ever thought about leatherworking? Yeah. And I have done leatherworking. One of my daughters is into leatherworking. She picked it up. I gave her all of my leather, and her eyes went, "Whoa, really?" I said, "Yeah, I'm not doing it no more. I got too many obligations in flint knapping." That mahogany point was awesome. You like it? I got it right here. You better bid on it when the time comes. Can you see it? It's so weird because I've got to do the opposite movements to get it in the right spot. See, you see it on your right, but I've got to move it to my left. But I thank you for saying that was awesome. I enjoy making those, a little bit odd looking points. Or, they don't fit the mold very well. Have you ever thought about leatherwork? Yes. Mike Tuff's right on 3. Type on 3 is what I keep hearing to slather my bow in. Yeah. You can coat your bow with glue. Not just type on, but you can use epoxy too, as long as it's flexible. Did the mail deliver today? Yes. Well, I didn't get letters. I got my speaker, and I got some other goodies. Yeah, I ordered some goodies off of Amazon. One of them is goggles, but I got swim goggles because it doesn't matter how protective the eye goggles are, just for regular safety glasses. I always get dust and debris past the goggles, no matter how big they are or whatever. And I also get bugs in my eyes in the summertime. So I got swim goggles that they got you can feel the suction when they attach to your face. That's one of the things I got. That will probably work. And then I got some other stuff. I can't remember. But yeah, I've tried so many different safety glasses and goggles and stuff. I finally said, I'm just going to get swim goggles. And sure enough, I tried them on today, and they fit nice and snug. They don't fog up. I got the expensive ones. I'm a little shy posting my points. Is probably shorter than all you guys. Let's see. Don't be embarrassed. Do you think the ancients did paleo fluting with direct or indirect or both? They did it with mainly direct percussion, I think. But they would use indirect too, I suppose. Whatever was easiest for the napper. You'll see that there's variation that can only be explained by napper preference because it doesn't have any real practical value. So if, like on blade design, The stem design is pretty standardized between nappers because they have to haft it in the same way. But the blade itself can lend itself to adaptation. Like some are serrated, some are not. Some have fancy parallel flaking, some don't. The parallel flaking is not always the same. There's different levels of experience that show in the thinness and the sharpness of these blades. So I think the fluting was up to the individual napper as to how he would do it. And I think the easiest way to do a Clovis short flute is just to do direct percussion. The longer flutes require some sort of pressure jig or some sort of indirect percussion for the longer flutes, I'm thinking. I mean, that's the easiest way to do the longer ones. Book face. Let's see. It's always awesome to see craftsmanship. Did I miss some comments? Let me look back. I think that the ancients did paleo fluting with anything that they could get their hands on. So yes, everything. I'm a little shy about points. Yeah, don't be shy about the points. I enjoy making a Vendetta, Gunther, Wintu, and AG points. I'm glad you enjoy it. Those are all pretty tough to do. I don't like the hard ones. I like Madison, Cottonwood Triangle, and I like Early Triangular. If it doesn't have notches, I like it much better. As soon as I see notches, I go, oh, okay. And narrow notches, ooh, that hurts. Needle tips, yikes. I mean, I like having the end result, but not to do it. But my points are wide. Your points are wide. Yeah. I just raw dog my Flint napping. Timu has full face shields cheap. Yeah, I still get stuff behind the face shield when I'm working with anything. I mean, that means I get stuff behind the regular glasses like this. I use a lot of these types of glasses, the Walmart stuff when I'm napping. I get stuff behind it too. But these cost just very little money. If I wanted to buy the face shield and the fancy goggles, it costs a lot more money, and it just doesn't do any good. Well, it's not much different. The only time I use a full face shield, or the only time that I did, was when I was helping a friend of mine in his septic tank pumping business. Yeah, I was the guy that stirred the septic tank before it got pumped, so I had to wear a full face shield. That's the only time I've used it for work. And they do, thank goodness, they do work for that. Have you ever had kombucha? Yeah. Before I went on my diet, my daughter says, you got to try this, Dad. What is it? It's good, is what it is. Does she have my sense of humor? Yes. So I said, okay, I'll try it. And it's good. It is good. Yeah, but I don't drink it anymore because it's got too many carbs. I'm sure you have. Ever see the video of the guy with the whole antler wrapped around his left using the base of shed antler as an indirect percussion tool? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, base of a shed antler as an indirect percussion tool. I think I know what you're talking about. He was hitting spalls off a big core. Yeah. But there's a couple videos, at least 2 videos like that from different nappers using a big antler. The closer you hit the antler, like if you're hitting with a hammerstone on the horizontal punch, the closer you get to the end of the horizontal punch, let's say this is the horizontal punch and the workpiece is right here. The closer you get to the end with your hitting, the more and more it acts like a vertical punch. So if you're hitting at the very end of the horizontal punch and your workpiece is right there, that's what I call a hybrid punch. It's not a true horizontal punch. It's a hybrid because it acts just like a vertical punch. The more you move down the horizontal punch to strike, the more flexibility you get. And I consider that a true horizontal punch because that flex helps to remove flakes in a certain way. Even a slight subtle flex. And not only that, but the support here on your horizontal punch can also flex, but you don't give it a chance to do any flexing if you hit it right at the end because it just pivots. There's no flexing this way. You know what I mean? It's a different animal. Okay, the horizontal punch is different from the vertical punch and different from the hybrid punch. One of the best places I've found for safety glass gear is flea markets. Every time I go to flea markets, I'm overwhelmed. I can't deal with it. All I see is pirated music. Anyone have any favorite effigies they make? Yeah. Who's got favorite effigies? Most of the flea markets I went to, I think I got a bad vibe, is South Texas, where everyone makes their own candles and makes their own mixes for music. And they just sell all their own handicrafts, which is good. But they didn't sell anything good as far as safety glasses. But the flea markets here are different up north. Yeah, so I'll give you that. But the flea markets around here are mainly antiques and old stuff. Stuff that might be antiques, but you look into it further and that's just regular stuff. It's amazing how long they actually produce some of these items. They've been producing the same looking certain cups and furniture for decades and decades. So they're not antiques. They keep producing them. Let's see. Who makes the sweet Stockton types? I want to see. I always deal with condensation developing on the inside of my safety glasses after a couple hours of working. Yeah, same here. Applying shaving cream. Wait, I missed it. On the inside. Applying shaving cream on the inside works. Rinse it off. It stops that from happening. I don't know. Have I tried that? What type of shaving cream are you using? Mine I guarantee the one that I use will leave a blurry film, a nasty film on it. It's the only way. Let's see. It's the only way I've ever saw someone using only 2 Apple tools get excellent indirect strikes every time that you could see ancient. So it's the only way you've ever saw someone using only 2 abo tools to get excellent indirect strikes. You haven't seen me use 2 antlers, one as a mallet and one as a horizontal punch. That's only 2 tools. And I can use those 2 tools only for the entire process from start to finish. Because a billet, I can knock off chunks off a big core with just the billet. And then the billet can be used to strike the punch during the intermediate stage, and then the punch can be used for pressure flaking at the end. So that's 2 tools for the entire process. And you haven't seen me do that? Dang it. I'm not sure a hazmat suit would completely protect you from debitage. No, especially when it pierces the suit. Let's see. Good evening, Patrick. Good evening, Jeremy. Just tuning in. I made a Clovis from a raw tiger shirt last night. Well, that's excellent. I'm drinking kombucha right now. Oh, that's why you asked the question. Or did you ask the question earlier? I don't know. I pressure flake with a spatula tool, mild steel, flat side up and down. I tried sharp Sharper 16 penny and 10 penny pressure flakers recently. Not too bad. Made a curved one, but I like the next one. Oh, wait, I'm missing a lot of this chat. It's going faster. Have you watched Flint Knapping tips? Yeah, I used to watch them in the beginning until, let's just say, until I realized that there's a lot of. I'm not going to talk about individual channels. I just stopped watching the channel. Yeah. Have you watched? Hey, Zane. Let's see. I figured out the flex of the antler wrapping the dude's leg would even help with the overall shock. Okay. Yeah, these little particulars on these napping tools, they work for some people, and some people it doesn't work. It doesn't make any difference. In case you're wondering, at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, there was a guy napping with a piece of wet clay stuck to the top side. He said it absorbs shock. That sounded genius. Any thoughts? Yeah, you can absorb end shock. Just watch EDBO23. EDBO 23. He uses silly putty, and other guys have used clay. I have not seen it during a nap-in, but I have seen it. And if you want to know, I don't know what this guy is, if he's got a YouTube channel, but if you want a YouTube channel with a demonstration, I misspelled it, then I recommend EDBO23. His name is Eddie Main, but the channel EDBO23. Okay. He uses silly putty, and yeah, it helps prevent end shock. I don't use it because it's an extra step that I don't need to deal with. I don't have that much trouble with end shock anymore. There's a guy by the name of Tabor. I can't think of his first name. He literally makes everything Godzilla to Wolf. I see. Eccentrics. What's your opinion of mahogany versus triple flow? I tend to break triple flow more often. Jim Main, you tend to break triple flow more often? Oh, don't abuse it. I think triple flow is highly flexible and very nice. A mahogany obsidian will snap in half. I consider mahogany obsidian snap in half-ish, and triple flow not so much. Triple flow, if I have a choice between the two, mahogany and triple flow, to make a long, narrow point, it's triple flow every time. You make a sweet Stockton type sometimes. Thanks. If you're talking to me, thanks. Travis Tabor is his name. He is my favorite eccentric artist out there as well. I see. I learned that from you, the two tools from start to finish. Okay, cool. You learned that from me. All right. I'm glad that videos have been helpful. I'm not saying I haven't seen you do it, Patrick. I'm just saying it was an easy way to say, discuss with a layman how ancients did these things. I saw you do it. Just making a convo, dude. Yeah, I'm making a convo too. Old Stone, New Eyes. That's a book. Yeah, I got that book. It's just basic stuff. Right? Old Stone, New Eyes. It's by... see, I got to make sure I don't look at the name. It's right here. If I look at the name in my memory, it goes away. But if I just distract myself a little bit, I can remember the guy's name. I just can't remember it. I'm trying to look too hard. But yeah, I got that book. It's just very basic stuff. It won't help you in any kind of advanced napping. You're boosting algorithms by asking questions? Heck, you don't even have to ask questions. You can say, you're dumb. What? That sounded stupid. What? I didn't understand that. And the more comments you put in there, it doesn't matter what you say, that helps the algorithm too. You can just go, what? And then I'll try to, you'll get me, and I'll try to think, what is he asking what about? And then I'll answer, and then you can just type in what again. Yeah. I'm giving you troll secrets. I'm not here to argue. No, don't worry. Uh, yeah. I mean, I know you're not here to argue. Okay, I know. I love Edbo23. His billets are hollow handled PVC, and he makes huge and thin points. Yeah, and they make a funny sound too. Don't. It's a really funny sound when you use a PVC hollow bopper with a copper cap. Only peace and love, Maestro. Yes, I know. I know you by now. You've been commenting so much. Brandon, I know you. I know that you mean well. Always. Do you ever listen to music while you work? If so, what kind? What kind do I listen to? I wish I could play it without having a copyright strike, but I always listen to music that doesn't have lyrics, which means my favorite to listen to is, I don't want to admit this, but it's stoner rock. There's no lyrics. Or I listen to techno with no lyrics. You know, the kind of stuff you hear at raves. But I don't blast it. I just, if I want something in the background, I'll just listen to something without lyrics. And I do listen to it in the background, especially when I'm not in the mood for napping. Appreciate what you do. Thank you, Jeffrey. Hook, ST on Hook mentioned you on his channel. He did? Okay, cool. I think I know who you're talking about. Bob Patton. There you go, Ed. You remember the name. Bob Patton is the one that wrote the book, Old Tools, New Eyes, something like that. Bill Taylor, welcome to membership. Thank you very much. Since Danny Collins is the only other brother in arms, I try to directly support him by plugging him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Danny is a great guy. I mean, I have to say that because he's given me gifts. I can't say anything bad about him. He's sent me some free stuff. How can I say anything bad? But no, if you want something, there are excellent sellers out there, and he is one of them. Yeah, if you want something, he'll try to get it. If he doesn't have it, he'll try hard. If he has it, you get it right away. Have I ever bought something I didn't get? Yes, but I let it slide. I just don't do business again with the person. Ancients, like how did they build the pyramids? Well, they've already figured that one out. I need to take a trip to Glass Mountain in Kelly. The obsidian there in Arizona near the extinct volcano has many impurities, ashes. Okay. Yeah, obsidian is not the same in Arizona, although some people prefer to nap the exotic obsidians from places like Arizona. If you want to know how they built the pyramids, or a good explanation, it's on YouTube, and they use a lot of wood. They use a lot of wood supports and a lot of wood to construct their ramps, the ways of moving big blocks. You can wrap the big block in wood that is circular and then roll the big rectangular blocks. You roll it the long way. You know what I'm saying? You can turn a long cylinder. You can turn a long rectangle into a long cylinder by building wood structures around the rectangular block and then roll it. In case you want to know. In case you're curious. There are many. And then once you get the block to the pyramid, there are ways to pull it up ramps into place. It only takes relatively little time when you compare the construction time of 20 years. How many blocks can you move in 20 years? Well, it depends on how many people you got working. It's all math. Any place to purchase rock in Florida? I live near Ocala, and you don't know. You have to go to the Flint Knapping. You have to go to the Knapping in Ocala. All right, there's one in Ocala. I know there's a Silver River or something like that. Silver River Knapping in Florida. You go there and you'll find out how to purchase rock in Florida. But look in my rock sellers comment. I usually have a comment that says sellers of rock, and you go to down and you'll see Pearl Yoder. I think she lives in Florida. Her and her husband both sell the rocks. I get my Florida rock from someone else who's a friend of mine that lives near Ocala as well. If you're in Ocala, you're sitting on top of some of the most plentiful chert in Florida. You just don't know where to look. There's many good guys here in this place of wisdom. Oh, yes. If you like stoner rock, you should try to listen to Boards of Canada. All right, let's write that down. Is that how you spell it? Boards of Canada. That's a funny one. Yeah. They have funny names. Most of them have the name Mammoth in the name. I don't listen to those. The ones that have the word Mammoth in their name. Let's see. Jesse Parra is some good stuff. I would vouch for Danny Collins as well. Bought a lot of material from him. Yes, yes. What do you miss about Texas? The people and the food. Yeah. The best people, best food, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I like online storefronts, so pretty much only buy stone and most tools from him. Yeah. They were built by giants. Yeah. Pyramids built by giants. By aliens who could, they constructed anti-gravity machines. I find it ironic that you like stoner rock. Yeah. Uh-huh. I know. I'm a big metalhead. I like metal too. When I listen to music that has lyrics, it's always heavy metal rock and stuff like that. Picked up a piece of Texas chert and produced my first spall and flakes with purpose today. I felt good. Thanks for the instruction. You're welcome. Ryan Gill lives in Florida. He sells rock as well. Yeah, you can get rock from Ryan. He sells a lot of rock from out of state, though. I think you were asking for in-state rock. Yeah, just go to a nap in Florida. I mean, they got tons. Literally, you can walk up to a guy that's got a display where he sells rocks, and that's not all that he sells. All right. You ask him, how much of this can I get? Because I've got like $5,000 to spend today. He says, heck, I got a whole big 5-ton pile back in my place. You want to come over and look? Yeah. I've known guys that spend thousands of dollars on rocks, and they ask the rock seller if they have that much. Some of them do. But you got to be at the napping. Never nap Novaculate. I hear it's a dream. Ordered some. Looks very glassy. Yeah, just if you ordered some from Danny Collins, it'll be good quality. It's not always the best quality, so just fair warning. Pyramids were built by a bunch of Patricks. You mean a bunch of autists? I don't know. Obsidian Cody points coming soon. Obsidian Cody points. Yes, Obsidian Cody points are coming soon. Yeah, always learning. Thank you for everything. Sam, he's a newbie. Got best flakes yesterday using ceramic plates. It felt great. Awesome. Yeah, anything you can use to nap, if it naps and you're getting good flakes, that's awesome. Have a blessed night. Someone's signing off. It's been 49 minutes. I knew you were a Judas Priest fan. Yeah, in the 80s are the best heavy metal music. Yeah. Van Halen, Judas Priest. Who else would I listen to in the 80s? Well, Heart There's a couple songs. That's what got me into uh, listening to heavy metal. Black Sabbath got me into listening to heavy metal. Um, but at first, it was a couple of the Heart songs because that was on the jukeboxes, and everywhere you go, that was kind of safe, the safe kind of rock and roll. And then uh, I got into the Led Zeppelin and all that, and then in the '90s, I think is the best decade for heavy metal. The '90s, yeah. So I listened to a lot of that stuff from the '90s. I'm heading to Florida in a month or so. I would check out Dan and Pearl Yoder. Yeah, just look on Facebook. Pearl Yoder is on Facebook, and you have to message them. I don't think they post a lot of the stuff they sell. It just by word of mouth. Let's see, Motorhead. I don't like Motorhead. Nope. Uh, let's see. What kind of music? I'm very particular. If a band strikes me as a kind of if its sound is off for me, I can't stand it. I either love it or I can't stand it. Uh, I, I can only listen to a few Metallica songs, and then I can't stand it anymore. But there's a few that I like. But what I like is to put a song on repeat. If I can't listen to it more than once, I tend to not listen to it at all. I can listen to some songs over and over and over. Like uh, just recently, like last week, I think there was one song by Tool, uh, "Eulogy" by Tool. I listened to over and over and over. I think it was like 20 times, and I don't get tired of that. If it- That's the kind of music I listen to, something I can put on loop and never get tired of. Run to the Hills, Iron Maiden. No, I like the Trooper from Iron Maiden. I don't like Run to the Hills. See, it depends on if something feels off about it, I don't like it. I can listen to the Trooper over and over and over and over. They napped the pyramids. What points are coming this week? I wish I knew ahead of time, Brendan, but unless someone really really wants something uh, shown, like they're having something come up that they need to make, like for a client. Could you please make this because I'm having trouble doing this for a friend of mine or a client? Yeah, then I'll do a point that's requested. But other than that, I hardly ever know what I'm going to do. Because if I force myself to do it, it doesn't turn out as good as it does when I just go with the flow. I've always felt that flakes traveling looks like ripples on water. A small wave sound makes waves. We just listening, try to, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yep. I got some Pearl Yoda coral. It's awesome stuff. Naps very nicely. Bill Taylor knows what he's talking about. Love your work. You are a real inspiration. Thanks, Kyle. Began my Flint napping journey mostly due to you and for your escape from other addictions and societal pressures. Amazing. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad it does help. I'm glad it did help you too, because it is an escape that is healthy. Okay, it's good. My favorite Tools song, great song. You like Eulogy? Yeah, that's one of my favorite Tools songs. And there's a couple more. I just can't think of it. I can't think of it off the top of my head because I have to wait until I'm a little bit distracted. There's a band called Pussifer. Yeah, the front man of Tool created a band called Pussifer. Yeah, Maynard Keenan. Please check them out. I have checked them out. It's not my style. Who messaged me? Yeah, I've checked it out. It's a little bit too silly for me, even though I'm silly. It's just too silly for me. The Troopers Killer Aces High is my favorite. I see. Scott Lauer. I gotta turn the speakers off. Hold on a second here. I'm getting messages. I can't be answering my messages while I'm on live stream. All right. So I apologize if you're sending me messages and you want me to answer while I'm on the live stream. I can't do it. I can, but I don't want to. There's a band called Pussy. Yeah. The Trooper. Yeah. Hi, Pat. I napped a butte of a big laurel leaf today. Appreciate you showing me how to achieve that. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you did. Thanks. Thanks for for that. Makes me feel pretty good. Oops, I didn't realize I was 30 seconds behind. Newer stuff is way more serious. Give them a fresh listen and trust. Okay, I'll try that. They have newer stuff now. Yeah, I haven't listened to it in a while. Sounds like a smoke alarm. Yeah, I know. It's funny because my dad insisted that the smoke alarms be removed from the house. I should put one back in. Yeah, he couldn't. It was one of those things that he couldn't stand listening to that little beep when the battery went low. It, it just would literally drive him nuts. World Painted Blood. Is that a band name? Yes, they made a couple new albums in the last 2 years. Newest stuff is changing, Tool-esque. That's very interesting. I got to listen to that. I didn't know they had made something new. Very interesting. I like Rammstein. I can listen to that over and over and over. Not all of them, but a lot of the stuff by Rammstein. Even if it's in German, especially because I can't understand it. Yeah, it makes it even better. 46 and 2 is excellent. And Sober is 2. Yeah, you got the good ones. Yeah, you named the good ones. Perfect Circle also a Maynard band. Yeah, a Perfect Circle is a little bit more mellow. It's okay. Schism is okay. Lateralis, yeah. Some of these Tool songs are a little bit too much drama. I know it sounds funny, but it gets into more of the emotional stuff. I don't know. Some of Dream Theater, they do weird time signature stuff. That's borderline mathematical. Kyle Ledbetter is a great meditation. Helped me get through a lot when I was young. Kyle Ledbetter? I don't recognize that name. Can you recommend some good documentaries? Good documentaries. I'll have to look that up and then let's see. I know some good documentaries. I just don't know the names off the top of my head. I'll write that down so I can post that in a comment section soon. Okay? Documentaries. And post in comments. It'll be in the comment section of one of the upcoming videos. Section. Okay. I do know some good documentaries. Most of them are old. The ones that are good. The ones that are the newest ones are very Hollywood. I can't stand it. Expressive into not exactly a comfortable lived experience. Yeah. Sam likes Rammstein. Yes. I mainly nap in total quiet. Yeah, it's good to nap in total quiet. I like to work in silence too. Yeah. I watched some really interesting docs made about ancient Florida Indians and older coastal lines and scuba diving for tools and such. I listen to reggae. Yeah. Kyle Ledbetter. Now, there's Kyle Ledbetter. Is that who you were talking about earlier? Kyle Ledbetter is in the house. Are you a napper, or because I recognize your name, or am I not recognizing the right person? Who's the best person to contact for Mahogany Obsidian? The best person? Hmm. Uh, the best person. Oh, I know. I think I know. But he doesn't. He doesn't sell to the public. Who sells to the public that I know? I don't know anyone that has a large quantity of Mahogany Obsidian that's really good, that sells it. I get mine from people who just do it as a hobby, and they don't want to sell to the public, but they'll send me a few pieces. And I have enough friends like that I can get a bunch of it because I can collect it from several different people. I'm trying to think here if some of these guys try to get in touch with Bill Taylor. Sometimes he's in the comment section for Mahogany Obsidian. I think he has access to some. A friend showed me some points his dad found in Arizona. They were made of carnelian agate. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's pretty stuff. Idiocracy is now a documentary. Yeah. Hey, Patrick, did you ever consider working with iron steel? Yeah, you mean as a blacksmith type person? Yeah. I actually had a friend that wanted to build a forge on my property in Texas, and I said, "Go right ahead. I'll do it." But he went off to college. Figures. Slacker. I wasn't going to build it on my own because I don't know the specifics on how to build a forge. He was going to make it right there and build it. I have a covered place. I have a slab with a cover over it, so it was a perfect place to build a forge outdoors. But yeah, oh well. Just a cook with a place and had my occupations as well. Kyle, I want to be a napper for sure, but I'm just a cook. Oh, okay, Kyle. Henry, there are some amazing agates in place of Burrow Creek off Highway 93. Yeah, just don't mention the exact spot because if you do, it'll be gone. Just fair warning. If you let out where these rocks are, it'll be gone. You'll be amazed how fast it'll disappear. Electrolytes, it's what plants crave. Who's the oldest Flint napper on here? I'll be 81 in March. Well, there are guys that are 90. Ken Winton. I don't see him in the comments here, but he's 90. I thought he was a youngster, but no. Okay. Yeah, there's some nappers with interesting backgrounds. There's some people that go to nap-ins that just start napping, and you ask them what they did for a living beforehand, and it's amazing what you'll find. Some are business owners, ex-business owners. Some have lived overseas their whole lives and finally came back to the States, for work and stuff. Some have, been at the same job for years of just a trade like an electrician, and some have jumped around and done all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you get everybody. When I was in art school, they taught me that whatever you listen to while working will affect your work, whether you realize it or not. Yeah, that's true. It does affect it somewhat. I'm trying to think how it would affect me listening to stoner rock. I don't get stoned, so but I enjoy it. I enjoy that type of rock. My first forge sank into the swamp, so I built another. It burned down, so I built another. That one caught fire, fell over, then sank, but the next one will survive. The next one survived. Okay, good. Patrick is live. Yes. Where you been? I've been live for like an hour and 5 minutes. Yeah, woohoo! First live stream. Yeah, I'm gonna have one every Friday. Okay, I'll have a live stream every Friday, and I'll go for an hour or two or something. I don't know. Jesse, I visited Arizona last year. Stay north of Sedona. Want to make another trip to Rock Hunt. Yeah, I've gotten some stone from Arizona, but the guy sent me stuff that he couldn't nap. Right? I remember. Or was it New Mexico? Now I'm getting mixed up. Okay, I think you may be talking about self hypnosis. I mainly surface find and try and be nice person too when it comes to landscape rock beds. I have 3. I have ordered from Amazon Obsidian. Listen to silence every now and then. I'm signaling off. All right, Brennan. Take care. Yep. We'll see you on the next video. I know that's cliche. But what else can I say? I've got to act normal. Just did some napping in some 26-degree weather, and I got to say, if you don't have a pair of those overall style snow pants, grab a pair. Yeah, it's a good idea. It keeps your legs and feet warmer, I found. Yeah. And I adjusted my boots so I could wear my wool socks because my wool socks are thick. And finally, I think I've managed to stay warm with those socks. I just wear the socks as slippers around the house. I hardly wear them with my shoes because they're too tight. But I've loosened my boots enough that I can tolerate it. Good night. Good night. Have a great evening. All right. Luckily, I have a good friend that lives about 10 miles from Glass Buttes in Oregon. Got to visit early summer and collect some obsidian. Yes. It's always good to have friends who live near that area because there's areas outside of the Glass Buttes areas that you can, collect a lot more. You don't have to worry about the quota or the limit from the park, right? I guess it's a park, or is it BLM land or something? Willie, you make beautiful points. Thanks, Willie. If you're talking to me, thank you. I get so jealous when I see those guys digging the flint out of the cliffs or at the beach in Britain or across the pond. Yeah. Yeah, they still have a lot of flint available right on the beach in various parts of Northern Europe. Yeah, as long as it has not been sitting there for too long, it's good stuff. It becomes cracked, over time. So it's not that great. The stuff you find on the surface, it might look good, but a lot of it has cracks in it. What's the most beautiful state you've ever visited and why? Most beautiful state I've ever visited. I went to Utah once. Those are the most beautiful mountains I've seen are in Utah, right? Yeah, I think so. I like looking at mountains. But as far as overall beauty, right here in New England, anywhere in New England that is historic is very beautiful to me. With the historic architecture and buildings and just the way they lay out the cities. Not the big cities. Those they got all ruined during the Industrial Revolution. No, just the villages and the towns. Yeah. I guess I just want to see those guys digging. Yeah. I have a friend whose property borders with Flint Ridge. Oh, dang. I had a question about your preferences on a pressure flaker. Is it more advantageous to have a more narrow tip? Is there a lot of thumb pressure use? It is sometimes more advantageous to have a sharp tip. Yes. It depends on the napper. a sharp tip has to be maintained a lot, which I don't like. But I get good results with a sharp tip. So I strike a middle ground. I use a medium sharp tip so I don't have to keep sharpening it. But yeah, I get good results with sharp tips. Um, it helps you drive narrow long flakes. If you like narrow long flakes, you should have a sharper tip. It works better because you're starting from a very small area, so it has to be narrow. It doesn't really fan out as much as a big old tip on the pressure flaker. Now, thumb pressure, I don't know what that means because I don't know anybody that uses a pressure flaker with just their thumb or with mainly their thumb on the pressure flaker. It's usually it's usually the palm of the hand that exerts all the pressure. Alaska, the amount of land that has been untouched. I agree, Alaska. Alaska is the prettiest. I haven't been to Alaska, so you're probably correct. I found Kentucky beautiful. People in the view was amazing. Yeah. I've been through Kentucky. The best, well, if I had to go hunting, there's two places that I've seen an amazing amount of deer and other wildlife. Two places, North Carolina and Indiana. Those are the two places that I would like to go hunting. Both in terms of the scenery and the game. Thank you for the information. I'm the one who was designing the 3D printed tools and stuff. Oh, okay. I found a design that fits me well, but I know every napper is different. Yep. It'd be awesome to catch salmon. Yeah. Hello, Killer Cork. West Virginia is beautiful in the fall, especially around the New River Gorge. Yeah, I need to go. West Virginia. I'm trying to think how many times have I been through there? I haven't been through there very often. Maybe once only. I need to go. I know a couple guys from West Virginia. One of them has a lot of Kanawha black. And he says, if I go visit him, he'll load me up. And I said, dang, I need to go over there quick because he'll forget about me. Kanawha black is an interesting material. I mean, once you get used to it, it's good stuff. Hi, Patrick. Wasn't the Bob Newhart show in the New England or Vermont area? Probably. I don't know. I didn't watch that show. I didn't like MASH either. I think that's from the same era. They're using thumb for downward pressure and a palm for inward, if I were to guess. I don't know. I'm sorry I keep sending you a BRJ too early. Don't use abbreviations for with me because I don't understand any of those abbreviations. I've been all over the USA and I think each state has its own uniqueness. Well, there you go. That is correct. Do you find any qualities within yourself that set you apart from other flint nappers? Other than talking smack and acting stupid, because that's what I think I do. Qualities that set me apart. I like to experiment, come up with new stuff. I also like to be sneaky. Yeah. How am I sneaky? I will develop a technique, right? And I won't tell anybody about it. And then I'll make a point with it, and then I'll show it. I don't do this anymore, but I did that sometimes, and they would try to guess how I made it. Nope, but I wouldn't say anything. Yeah, you can tell who knows what they're talking about, but it's not fair, you know. But yeah, and I've learned to be that way, kind of learned to be that way because I think people were that way with me too. Because people used to ask me in the beginning, how do you think this was made? Is it real or is it not? And I think some of the guys who were asking me that made those points. So I started going, There's a lot of testing of skills and knowledge in the Flint Knapping community. They're being sneaky, so I'm going to be sneaky too. Yeah. Why not? But that's not separating myself. That's joining the bandwagon of being sneaky. So yeah, the only thing I can think of that sets me apart is just the sense of humor that I have. A recent video of yours discuss a bit about nails for pressure flaking. Would you recommend replacing the copper tip that comes with the purchase flakers with nails? Yes. 16 penny nail is the most common nail that I use, but you can use larger nails than that. I do recommend replacing the copper with nails. Yeah. If you can find a similar size. Why? Because you don't have to sharpen the nails as much. If you don't mind sharpening the copper all the time, then it's not a big deal. Don't replace it with nails. But if you want less maintenance, then use nails. Here's a good question. What is next for Jack Crafty? I don't know, because that's the channel name. It's not my name. My name's Patrick. Patrick Blank. I can ask Jack Crafty if you want, but he's not going to answer because he don't exist. The channel doesn't talk back, although I wish it would. When are you going to post on PAB Philosophy? I stopped posting on there because, and I don't know when I'm going to post on there again. I stopped posting on there because it was taking too much time. Yeah. Your personality makes the videos enjoyable. I was thinking of getting back to the PAB Philosophy. I was thinking of deleting the whole channel so that I can make videos from written text and do it better than I was doing. I was reading off notes a lot in my PAB Philosophy channel, but I found that after watching and reviewing my videos that I don't communicate all that well. So I need to figure out a way to communicate my ideas better. And it takes me forever to write something clearly. So yeah, I wish I could tell you when I'm going to post on that. I start posting, or I start talking about philosophy sometimes in my channel news. So some of it still lingers. So you can still find some of the philosophy there. I'd be interested to see what the largest point you can effectively shoot with a bow. Many points people call bird heads are actually true arrowheads. I'm going to do some atlatl tests too. Yeah. You can shoot up to a 200 grain point on an arrow made of stone. Once it gets past 200 grains, you're kind of playing with a little bit too much weight, unless it's a thick arrow and you're shooting 80 pounds or above. You know what I mean? Most Native American arrows are in the 40-pound range. And most of the true points for arrows, true arrow points, are in the 40 grain range. So it's easy to remember. 40-pound bow, 40 grain range for arrowheads. But yeah, the largest point I've seen people mount 250 grain arrowheads on an arrow that's shot from a bow. And I've tried mounting one of those on an arrow. And the only way I would do that is to mount it on a hickory arrow or something of similar strength. Maybe an Osage orange wood arrow could handle it. But I think some of these guys are mounting those to Port Orford cedar. I don't know how they do it. 250 grain stone arrowhead is huge for an arrow, but I've seen it done. You know you're not Jack, Patrick. Yes, I know. Persnickety. I remember. Who's Persnickety? I remember a while ago you were talking about enjoying Quality pens. Oh, yes. What are the traits of a quality pen? I'm curious, as I remember you also mentioning being in drafting. Well, I also assume a lot of pen use. I've used a lot of pens. Should I get one out? Let's see. Where did it go? Where did I put it? Oh, it's over there. Okay. Um, yeah, I have a particular type of pen that I normally use nowadays. It, it's not a Sharpie pen. It's something else. Yeah, I'm particular about the pens that I use. It has to be archival ink and true black. I hate it when if it gets water on it and it bleeds and it's purple ink. It drives me nuts. Micron pens, Micron. I recommend Micron pens, and they come in different sizes, and you make excellent drawings, either sketches, art for artists, or drafting. Micron pens are the best, I think, for the money. You can buy more expensive ones, and you can buy expensive pencils too. But I don't have a specific brand of mechanical pencil that I recommend. There are so many good ones. Don't stop making nice points. Always excited to see it work. Okay, I won't stop making nice points. Yeah, don't mention food because everyone gets hungry. What's my greatest napping accomplishment, in my opinion? My greatest napping accomplishment. That's a good question. Greatest and most bestest. I felt like I accomplished a lot. I don't know. This is probably not what you expect, but I felt a great sense of accomplishment when I realized how fast my children picked up napping because of the way that I was napping with indirect percussion and other students. My biggest accomplishment, I think, is to be a user of indirect percussion because it's so easy for new people to pick it up, especially if I'm there teaching. My kids picked it up right away, and any other young person, especially when they're below 18 years old, my children pick it up very quickly. Their mind is open. Later on in life, when you've already been through a lot of other crafts and you've tried napping, you've tried various things, you look at indirect percussion and you go, that's a little odd, don't you think? To themselves. And then they are focused mainly on pressure flaking. Yeah. They get focused on pressure flaking and they go from percussion straight to pressure. And they skip the indirect percussion. And they only use it when it's totally necessary and when I feel the need. Yeah, okay, that's all right. But that's what you get when you get old. Younger people don't say that. All right. Uh, yes, a great napping accomplishment is the use of indirect percussion. In my early days of napping, my go-to material was those arrowheads that are found in gift shops. Oh yeah, you can re-nap those. I got a video on one that I re-napped. I just don't like the material. It's surprising the quality of stone in those arrowheads. Yeah, some of them are okay, but most of those tourist shop arrowheads, unless they're made of good obsidian, uh, they're hard to nap. I've got some choke cherry shafts. You're welcome to. Oh yeah, Ed, you're holding out on me. You got some choke cherry you didn't tell me about. No, I think you did. You already messaged me on that. Yeah, I'd love some of those. I went out and I collected some shoots today too, and I got some cherry. I just don't know what type it is. Uh, you can rework some of those cheap. Yep. Patrick gets an A plus for penmanship, and that's from a former teacher. All righty, cool. There's some black glass on its way to you. Awesome. Thanks, Charles. Charles. Have we been emailing recently? Did I tell you about my search for glass, blocks of black glass? I've been looking for that for years. I have a friend here in Vermont that is a glass blower, but he says if he were to sell me glass by the pound, it's ridiculously expensive. And I said, why is it so expensive? He says, it just gets marked up for us. I don't know why. For the glass blowers, pay a fortune for that stuff. Have you ever handled any casts of Sweetwater Biface? Yes. I was looking at some pictures of it recently and kind of blew my mind. Oh, wait until you hold it. Order the cast of the Sweetwater Biface, hold it, and you'll go, yep, aliens made it. Yep, for sure. It's got to be. Proof right there. There's no way the aliens didn't make it. Yeah. I also have a hypothesis about something that you mentioned about some of the point styles that required sacrifice. Part of me wonders if they use a single day to make the best points they could. It's possible. It's also possible that they get hopped up on nicotine or other stimulants. Your indirect percussion technique is groundbreaking and awesome. Thanks. I need to hire you for my PR guy. Yep. Let's see. Because they were able to view the days or something of value. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about arrowheads and napped points being used for money. Something they can. Yeah, the fancy points. I'm trying to think of the reasons. I've been thinking about that. Why would they make such fancy points when it has no practical use? And it has to do with wealth. Yeah, it's either a sign of wealth or it is something that people collect to become wealthy. Just the art of it is something that's amazing. And, humans like art and they put high value on art pieces. And I call it artism. But artism is actually a word, right? I just say artism and link it to autism because it sounds very similar because the autists are probably the ones doing the art. It's not a bad thing. I just think it's funny. But yeah, art is something that humans are in love with. Who is the one person that inspired you the most in life? Not just napping. Karl Popper. Yeah. Not his politics, but his logic. Thomas Sowell. Sowell. Those are some of those guys are very prolific writers. Also Ayn Rand. Those three. I ordered books from them in the beginning. Like those are some of the first audiobooks I listened to, and it just totally changed my viewpoint on philosophy. Okay. Yeah, if you get those three authors, they're very prolific in their writings on philosophy. Their politics are a little bit messed up, but when it comes to logic and philosophy, yeah, those three influenced me. And then after that, I tore through a bunch of books on philosophy, dozens of books, and you can separate them out using the logic, especially from Karl Popper. You can separate the wheat from the chaff that way. All right. So not just one person influencing me the most in life. Yeah. I moderate the napping subreddit You moderate the napping subreddit, and we got a lot of your content all over there. You've been a great inspiration and influence to a lot of us over there myself. Wow. Okay, thanks. I was on that subreddit for a little while, but I was a lurker. Yeah. I spent too much time over there. If I allow myself. Yeah. I didn't know that they were talking about me behind my back. Northern California tribes. Yes, Northern California tribes are amazing. Just so you know, you can get addicted to studying those guys. Yeah. Using beer bottle bottoms to make glass, it just made so much sense. It had absolutely atrocious aim with direct percussion. Indirect just took out a variable. Yeah. Made the transition much easier. Yes. Indirect rules. Yes, it does. Your indirect percussion techniques caught my attention and immediately made sense. Well, that's good. I'm glad. Yeah, you're unusual because usually people go, okay. Yeah, if it caught your attention and you understood it immediately, you are a rare type. Thomas Sowell is great. I love watching the YouTube channel dedicated to him. Yes. Thomas Sowell's been around for a while too. He's in his late 80s. Maybe he's even in his 90s. He's been around since the 60s doing commentary. There's a lot of good commentators. He's one of the best. Some of the Neolithic African points, like fan-eared points or hollow base points, it does make you think they traded them like currency. Some styles don't seem to be practical. Yeah. You got to keep in mind, too, that the kind of stuff you trade needs to be a little bit more durable than the really fancy points. So the fancy points, a lot of them were made for grave offerings or burial offerings. So they didn't travel anywhere. It was just local. But yeah, it's mainly the preforms that get traded. Long distances anyway. Oh, there's the guy. I want to see if I can remove you. Yes, I did. Sorry, Wayne, I removed you. He's just one of those guys that was trolling me the other day. I know I'm originally from Northern California. You're in the know. You're from Northern California. Yes. Yeah. Just ask Ahab the fisherman. He knows. We'd always welcome you back, even as a lurker. We do monthly napping competitions, and we've tried to start writing more guides. We want to keep in there. So yeah, send me a link to the particular subreddit that you are a mod for. Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look into it. We want to keep a napping list sort of like you do. Any good resources? I just have to do a lot of legwork on Facebook. When I make my napping lists, I just have to scour the internet. It takes me like all day. I spend 4 hours in the morning and another 4 hours at night to update my napping list. I update it every 6 months or so. Minimum. The trolls just came into the chat. Yes. But I removed him. We'll see if he comes back. He's got different handles, so he may come back. Not that I want you to read the comments, but I was thinking I need to learn how to delete people. And I just learned. Yeah, you look at the Sweetwater Biface. If you've never seen it, you're gonna go, yeah, wow. Yeah, what's with all the commercials? I tried to make sure the commercials only show up once every 30 minutes. Okay, so it's already been an hour and a half, so they're going to show up 3 times. The YouTube won't let me space the commercials out more than 30 minutes apart when I monetize. They got to make the money somewhere, so they have to put, if they want to share the money with me, they got to put in the commercials. Being new at napping, I find turtlebacks particularly troublesome. Your videos make it look so easy. Yeah. It's hard for me to describe how to do it to new guys, other than you just got to smack the heck out of it. Yeah. You have to, picture it this way. You got to sneak up on the stone so fast that it doesn't know what's happening. If you think about it too much, no, you just got to smack the crap out of it. Yeah. And you can get rid of the turtlebacks. I like to study the East Coast natives because they were affected by the most imperial colonialism. They are rare. Yeah. It's a rabbit hole. If you like going down rabbit holes, it's perfect. He will be back. Unfortunately, I hate that troll crap. Yeah. Well, Robbie, I think you're the first person who mentioned that. So um, I think I'm just going to continue to delete. Yeah. It doesn't bother me. It actually helps the channel, but I don't like it when it bugs other people. Good mention on Facebook. Big aim for the subreddit is to get the information in a common space that doesn't require you to make an account like Facebook does. The people who knew better, yeah. Get rid of troll face. Yep. As far as I know, the comments are not there, or that he just put one comment up there. I'll also send you email, get you some good information. Yeah, I think you should have my email, Smoyzilla, or no, Smallzilla. I'm blind. I don't see where I'm supposed to see. Yeah, Smallzilla. Okay. Yeah, send me email. Smite is a good word. Yes. Smite with all your might. Sweetwater Biface is unreal. Great indirect work. I think anybody can block. Really? Oh, yeah, you can block it if you don't want to see it. Yeah. I can actually remove it, though, so no one sees it. What a crybaby. You can't even stand a troll. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I'm a big crybaby. I can't stand it. I don't like trolls. They make me upset. Paleo Planet used to do that, but it kind of died after they left Yuku. Okay. Yeah, I remember. I was on Paleo Planet for a while. Yep, still got your contact info. Good. All right. I make sure that I don't use ad block when watching the real YouTubers who rely on monetization. You deserve it because of your wealth of knowledge. And oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm not smart enough to use ad block, so I signed up for a premium on YouTube so I don't see the ads. But my son, one of my sons is always online, 24/7. He goes, Dad, just use the ad blocker. Which one? There's a dozen of them. Just he sends him like 3 links to different ad blockers, and I never do anything with them. And then he gets disgusted. He's like, useless. You're useless. Ordering all kinds of casts from Lithic Casting Lab for study. It's addicting. Yeah, it is addicting. I sold a bunch of my casts, actually. I'm heading out to take Patrick. Take care. Oh, take care, Ahab. Ahab the fisherman. Good to see you. Yep. Yep. Are we at 2 hours yet? I got to go out and nap. Hour and a half. Hour and 39 minutes so far. Okay, so I got some notes from this live stream. I have to look up some documentaries. What's off the top of my head? So, Mike Mason, you're cooking. It's early for some people, but here it's been dark for like 5 hours. So I've already had my dinner. Are you a morning or a nighttime napper? I'm a nighttime napper. Ever nap by the fireside? Yes. Has to be the real OG experience. I don't know what OG means. If you use an abbreviation for me, you'll totally lose me. I don't know what OG means. I look at OG and the first thing I think of is, oh God. Or overly gregarious. I don't know what that means. I really like the live stream. It brings a sense of community. Yes, it does. Hey, But for Brains is back. Yeah, I remember. I'm on the West Coast. It's only 6:30. Ah, yeah. You guys on the West Coast, you're still probably in sunlight. It's been dark here for 5 hours. Original Gangster, 140. I don't know what 140 means. Don't forget to give Boards of Canada a listen. Yeah, I've got Boards of Canada written down. They usually don't have lyrics. Well, usually, my luck, I'll just hit the first one that has lyrics, and I'll go, "Oh, they have lyrics. I don't want to listen." Yes, lithic castings is addicting. I have 3/4 of Pete's paleo castings. That's good. It's good to have the casts. I just ordered a bunch of Cody's, right? Cody Point casts. I got the relevant ones, the ones that people were having trouble reproducing from a certain site. Bill Taylor, there he is. I sent Patrick Obsidian from Glass Buttes to show appreciation for him, helping me to learn to nap better. Yep. So he might not have Obsidian available for everybody. I think that's what that means. The Archaeology of the North American Great Plains, Doug Bamforth. Carl, thanks for the reference there. I assume that's a documentary. I have Novaculite ordered. I've only napped smaller pieces of it. Any advice? Tiptoe through the tulips with Novaculite. Yeah. Be very gentle to begin with. That's all I can say. I tried one napper that was brand new on Novaculite, and he just tore through it like a Cookie Monster through rice cakes. No, you've got to take your time. My uncle has a semi-famous farm in Vermont. Most of the postcards of a sugar shack are of one on his farm. That's interesting. There's plenty of sugar shacks out here. Do you remember any vinyl records? Oh, yes. Do you still have any from it? Oh, yeah. I gave all my vinyl records to my oldest daughter. I had a collection. It wasn't that big. I think I have. It was mostly in 45s. I used to buy singles that would come out on 45 in the 80s. Every new single that came out that I liked from the top 40 or whatever, I would buy the 45. I gave all those to my oldest daughter. It's cool to listen to those. I remember vinyl records were so common that we would just throw them like frisbees and they would break and then we'd go, this was like Gladys Knight and the Pips anyway, so throw it, break it up against the wall or something. Yeah, we were a little bit vandalistic when I was little. Yeah. I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah. I was quite the vandal. Do you remember? Is there any good artifact hunting grounds near your house? Actually, yes. Here in Bellows Falls, we're actually on a Native American site. Here in Vermont. This town is built on a Native American site. The hills around here are burial grounds for Native Americans. Let's see. Doo-doo sandwich, the old ways. Why do you name yourself Doodoo Sandwich? How is Kevin? Kevin is doing well. Yeah. Who's Kevin? My dog. We have a bunch of dogs at my house in Texas. Um, and Kevin became my favorite. Yep. He understands me and the napping, but he sneaks off with my tools. But he'll come in and watch me nap. It was very interesting. He was the only one to do that. Most all the larger towns in New England are built on old Native American villages. That is true. Yeah. The Native Americans had a trail system, a very extensive trail system through New England, this area. And every good flat area was inhabited at some point. They've been here, of course, from the very beginning. Yeah, the sites here, there's some that are very old sites, continuously inhabited for thousands and thousands of years, with a very extensive trail system that is now basically the road system through the backcountry here. Mostly all the larger towns in New England are built on, yeah. I listen to Casey Kasem reruns every Sunday while doing chores around the house. You do? I don't listen to those anymore. I used to listen to Casey Kasem's Top 40 religiously. At least it's like that here in Connecticut. Yeah. Connecticut, yes. The thing that struck me about Connecticut last time I went through is that all the bridges are green. Why do you paint all your bridges green? Oh, it's been 20 years since I passed through Connecticut, but yeah, all the bridges were green. You want to camouflage them or what? Kevin was itchy. Yeah. No matter how many anti-flea pills I give Kevin and how many drops of that anti-flea thing you put on his back to get rid of fleas, he would always have at least one flea on him and was always itchy. He was like a flea magnet. Nobody else would have fleas on him, but I looked at Kevin. He's got like one. He's got the one flea. That drove me nuts. You should check out the Pico Museum in Connecticut. It's attached to the Foxwood Casino. It's massive, full replica village. I gotta write that down. Pico Museum. I've heard of it, yeah. In Connecticut. Okay. I will definitely try to check that out. Where I live in Connecticut, it's very near the rock outcrop that divides Podunk and Mohegan hunting grounds. It's very cool. Awesome. Connecticut Yankees, what are you going to do? Do you think maybe the bridges suffered from oxidation and it turned them green? No, they painted them with green paint. They had this special green paint that they like. Pequot is how it's pronounced. Okay. Pequot. I'm assuming it's a French way of spelling and pronouncing the Native American name. The Picot. But yeah, Pequot. Thanks for the clarification. Better than ticks. Ticks really suck. Yeah. Ticks are bad. Some years it was worse than others. Yeah. I'm glad that at least near the desert, they were controllable. We were living near the desert, so it wasn't like constant fight against ticks. It was seasonal mainly. Yep. Okay. If the chat calms down, a lot, I'm just going to say that's it and go out napping or not. The French were very cruel to the natives. Yeah. What most of the Europeans did, which is very sneaky, was that they would explore into an area, make friends with a certain tribe, and ask that tribe, well, what are your enemies? And they would say, this tribe over there or that tribe over there. I'll tell you what, I'll help you defeat your enemies and we'll share the land that we conquer from your enemy. So they would go and do that. And then the French would make, this goes for other Europeans too, they would make friends with somebody else. Are these guys that we were friends with just now your enemy? We will help you fight them. So they wiped out the other guys too. So now they own all the land. Sneaky stuff. And that happened over and over again. Yeah. You might also like the Living History Museum in New England's old Sturbridge Village in Plymouth Plantation. Yeah, I do go to museums, but they burn me out quick. People are cruel. Yes, they are. Hey, I just wanted to say that the idea where you use the belt with the pressure flaker to hold it on, but then you can turn it over and have a tip on the other side is brilliant. Oh, thanks. I mean the indirect percussion, not the pressure flaker. Yeah. No, I know what you meant. Yep. I get comments on that Kelly strap quite a bit. What kind you going to nap tonight? That's a good question. I'm trying to do longer, more narrow points. Do you live close to the Edwards Plateau? I used to, well, it wasn't close. It was an hour and a half from where I used to live in Texas. I live in Vermont now. I used to live in West Texas. When I started napping, I didn't start napping until I moved to West Texas. I've lived in South Texas, but I didn't nap there. And I lived in Central Texas in Austin, but I didn't nap there either. Well, I can't say that. I did nap while I was in Central Texas because I worked and I lived with my mom, and that's where I found the first stones that I could nap from a landscape supply yard. But that's not where I wanted to live. I had to live with my mother in that case because of work. It was a lot cheaper than me getting an apartment, that's for sure. Let's see. But yeah, both my mom and dad have passed. I live in Clear Lake, California. Have you ever heard of the story of Bloody Island? No. I live close to getting back to the Edwards Plateau, I lived closer to what they call the Callahan Divide, which has lots of chert. I think that's what you're getting at. I was able to collect a lot of chert on my own for free when I lived in West Texas. Some Europeans were Slavs. That word has a meaning. Yeah. Slavs, yes. It's a complicated history. I looked at that, but yeah, Eastern Europeans were taken into slavery quite often, especially by Romans and Southern Europeans, and also people from the Middle East. Patrick, I've enjoyed live stream. Have a good night. All right, thanks. You too, James. Yeah, thanks for the 2,000 plus videos. In case you don't know, I've got over 2,000 videos. I'm gonna do a shameless plug for myself. Oh my God, you should have napped mid Texas. Yeah. The thing is, people look at you funny now in Central Texas if you're out looking for rocks, because there's too many people doing that now. There's at least 4 people watching you at all times in Central Texas. no matter where you go now, because there's too many people trudging around looking for stuff. Not only rocks, but there's a lot of people in the back 40 looking for stuff. The story of Bloody Island is a massacre that happened to the Pomo people in this area when the U.S. Army came in and wiped them out. It's really sad. It's part of our local history. Yeah, I believe it. The government did a lot of unspeakable things back in the day. They still do. I found French trade pipe pieces and French gun flints while walking farmland in Michigan. Yep. They're fur trade stuff, right? These are different. They're full of scaled towns with people dressed in period clothing actually doing the trades of the era, net weaving, building wigwams, log houses. These are different. Oh, they're full-scale towns. Interesting. Seamus plugs 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Yeah. Anybody want to do a shameless plug? Go ahead. I don't care. I'm looking back on the comments here. I don't see the troll. Where'd you go? Or maybe that wasn't a troll. Can I look you up? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I could put a user in timeout. Golly. Like a child. Yes, French traders and voyagers. Yeah. But the English did the same thing as the Spanish, as the same thing as the French. They all had their sneaky ways. TechCrafty is the best napping channel. Yay. Henry. Thanks, Henry. Another PR guy. If you're looking for guitar repairs in Eastern Shore, Maryland, let me know. That's good to know. Yep. Have you heard of the Wenatchee Clovis cache? Wenatchee. Sounds familiar. Yes. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I live in Iowa, and my specific geographic area is glacial soils, so a snack mix of clays and assorted stone from Canada. Okay, spell checks is hurting you big time. I occasionally come across some rock piles, and I can occasionally find stuff. I might be able to get you some once summer rolls runs around and the rock piles are freshly added to. I have some lovely random heat treat stuff. Okay. All righty. Random heat treated stuff. I've got baskets full of random heat treated stuff I need to get to. So you'll be in that group of random heat treats that I need to get to. All right, I'm going to call it quits on the live stream. All right, guys, have a good night. I'm gonna sign off here in a minute or two. Not easy peasy. Stuff has made me suffer. Yeah, I believe it. Central Washington large cache of huge Clovis points was discovered in Orchard. Central Washington. Okay, that's the Wenatchee. Kiowa, do you play chess? I find it helps with my senile memory loss. I used to play chess a lot. I don't anymore. I used to play the game called Go also. It's from China, I guess. Go. It's a game called Go. It's also a game of strategy. Good night. Good night, everybody. Peace out. See everybody later. I might not be able to upload tonight. Yeah, it's already probably too late for me to nap. I got to turn off the space heater. Oh, I'll go in the shop. We'll see what happens. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks. We'll see you on the next video.